Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
To today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. A little bit of a heads up for you guys and girls. If during the course of the show today I should nod off and you see a bottle of bottled water come flying across the set, hit me upside the head and wake me up, it's because I have been up since 5 o'clock this morning. You know, routine is a crazy thing. I was telling Marty, I have not arisen at 5 in the morning since before COVID set in. Today, however, I was invited to take part in an event that was just absolutely wonderful. Got to hang out with a dear friend, with my buddy Mayor Gerard Landry in Denham for the 70th commemoration of the National Day of Prayer. Got to see some folks there at the prayer breakfast that I've not seen in many years, met and made some new friends, and just had an absolutely wonderful time, with the exception of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I tried to talk Alan into joining me, but he wasn't having it. He told me, call Marty, see if he'll go. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. Well, so much for who your real friends are, right? But Denham Springs is a very, very special place to me. I can't count the number of times over the years I have driven or ridden in a car or float in the Mardi Gras parade or the Christmas parades, the number of events for nonprofits that I have emceed, fundraising, and remote broadcasts that I've done for businesses over the years in Denham Springs. And they have always welcomed me with a warm smile, open arms, and hospitality that is second to none. So it was really great to take part in the mayor's prayer breakfast there in support of our 70th National Day of Prayer. You know what is concerning, however, along those lines? For the first time in 70 years, there is no public program commemorating the National Day of Prayer at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. According to the website Christian Headlines, the Reverend Patrick Mahoney, director of the Christian Defense Coalition, requested a permit to hold a program in support of the National Day of Prayer and was denied, tweeting, quote, "After our permit was denied, for the first time in 70 years, there will be no public witness at the United States Capitol building on the National Day of Prayer." He goes on to say, quote, "It's deeply troubling. For the first time in 70 years, there will not be a public prayer service at the United States Capitol building on the National Day of Prayer. Every American needs to ask the question, how is it possible to have public prayer prohibited at the Capitol on the National Day of Prayer, especially when it is a national observance designated by Congress?" That's a question that begs to be answered. And ironically, those of us that are members of the community of faith, and I don't know about other denominations, but for us old Baptist folk, we are of the opinion the Holy Spirit will never lead you wrong. If you avail yourself to it, listen to what it's telling you, He'll send you where you need to go, tell you what you need to say, and the whole nine. So leading up to this morning's address, I'm trying to decide, okay, what am I going to talk about at the prayer breakfast? And sure enough, Holy Spirit sends to me topic, now more than ever, America needs our prayers. And then to come and find out days later, for the first time in the 70-year span, there's not going to be a public prayer service at the United States Capitol building, despite the fact that the National Day of Prayer is a national observance designated by Congress. If you doubted the authenticity of me saying now more than ever, America needs our prayers, all you got to do is just look around. You see it in all corners, in all factions. Some of it, they don't even try to hide. But the good news is prayer can change all that. And I know there's probably some folks that are saying, well, Clarence, I don't know, I'm just one person. I'm just a single guy, single girl. I'm an individual. What difference can I as an individual make? Well, you'd be surprised. Scripture tells us the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Meaning, as I said this morning, you don't need a whole lot of folk. Now, obviously, the more that engage in prayer, the greater the result and the larger the reward. But at the end of the day, it's like I heard an old fellow say once, you don't need a church full of people. All you need are a few people full of church. Some of y'all are not going to get that till later, but that's okay, as long as you get it. You don't need a church full of people. All you need is a few people full of church. It is a national observance, and it would be interesting. I don't have statistics in front of me one way or another to quantify this yay or nay. But it would be interesting to know, across the length and breadth of this grand republic of ours, how many governments actually choose to exercise the option on the National Day of Prayer. After the permit was denied for a public service at the Capitol building, someone may well put a list together. So obviously, I will keep an eye out for that, and we will see what we will see, said Ray Charles to Stevie Wonder. Today is a day that the city of Lake Charles and the city of New Orleans has been eagerly awaiting, as President Joe Biden is scheduled to visit our red state in hopes of drumming up support for this massive, multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure bill. It is ironic and telling to me, and I think we spoke about this yesterday. One of the stops in New Orleans is scheduled to be the Sewerage and Water Board offices, I think the Carrollton office, where the infrastructure there is literally crumbling beneath their feet. And the city spokesman yesterday, in announcing that the president plans to make an appearance there, talked about how the infrastructure there is woefully inadequate, it's failing, there's been no investment in it, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. But again, when you go back and look at the history of that city, who's been in charge and running New Orleans for well in excess of 100 years? Who's been in control of the mayor's office, the school boards, the city councils? Go down the list. And if you have been in charge of running the city for well over 100 years, I guess I don't have to look too far to find out who's responsible for not keeping up the infrastructure the way it should have been. Of course, now, you have to want to do these things on your own and not subscribe to the theory that, well, we'll just kind of twiddle our thumbs and wait on Daddy Deep Pockets, i.e. the federal government, to come riding in with big bags of money and rescue us from our negligence. It is a problem that plagues, and please don't get it twisted. I'm not just picking on New Orleans, because they are in no way, shape, or form alone in that regard. Right here in the capital city, same thing. With the advent of Interstate 10 running through Baton Rouge, we completely abandoned all other infrastructure. We turned the interstate into Main Street and completely neglected building surface street infrastructure to facilitate a smooth flow of traffic. If you doubt the authenticity of that, ask any Baton Rougean. Pick a place, doesn't matter, pick one, and ask a Baton Rougean, how do I get to the place you've designated? You know what they'll tell you? Well, you get on the interstate and you get off at the interstate is now Main Street. And that's okay if you have invested in the other infrastructure as needed. Sadly, Baton Rouge has not. New Orleans has not. And I don't have enough time left in this segment to tell you all the other cities that have not. Hopefully, if this massive amount of money ends up being passed along to you and I, because y'all do realize, English teachers forgive me, in 3, 2, 1. This ain't free money, y'all. Somebody's got to pay for this. And guess who somebody is? That's right. You and yours truly. We'll keep an eye on it, see what comes out of it. But right now, I'm just a little bit late. Let me get this first break of today's show out of the way. When we come back, scam alert. Trying to separate you from your money. It's what the criminals do. We'll give you the heads up next on the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Sit tight.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $1,250 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
This shows you how far we've fallen when we're in there telling Boudreaux and Thibodeau jokes during the commercial break, right? This tells you what kind of day it's been. Hey, when you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, do what in essence is a show, and then drive back from Denham and do another one a couple of hours later. Hey, whatever it takes to get you through. Thank God for Boudreaux and Thibodeau. Yeah, diesel fitter. Now you know. Now you know I'm delirious, Marty. Diesel fitter. I guess I may have to tell that joke on the air one day. It's pretty clean. I mean, it's pretty clean. As we headed to the commercial break, on a serious note, I gave you guys and girls a heads up that we need to pass a scam alert along to you. The United States Postal Inspection Service is warning us that scammers are sending tons of bogus emails known as phishing with a P, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, as opposed to F-I-S-H-I-N-G. The real phishing, yeah. They are sending these bogus emails and bogus text messages claiming to be from the United States Postal Service. The messages, according to this press release, are prompting you, unsuspecting consumers, to confirm personal delivery information by clicking on a link or downloading an attachment that, when opened, can activate a virus and steal information such as passwords, usernames, and financial account information. Postal inspectors say that consumers should be aware that the USPS, United States Postal Service, does not send text messages or emails about unclaimed packages or attempts to deliver packages. To help you be aware of the scam, the postal inspectors have issued the following tips. 1, do not click on any links or attachments. 2, and this is pretty much, you would think, a universal rule of thumb by now, do not give out personal information. Be aware that the United States Postal Service does not notify customers of package delivery attempts or request personal information via email or text. They also say that you should be sure and examine the message closely. Poor grammar, spelling errors, that's usually a pretty good indication that the email is fake. Also, you are asked to verify the identity of the sender. Take the time to ask yourself why the sender is asking you for this information. It is your money. I can't factually speak to the fact that you work hard for your money. I am going to extend you that courtesy and assume that you do. And I will also extend the courtesy of believing you want to hang on to your hard-earned money. It is a sad commentary that the individuals that sit around dreaming this stuff up, if they spent just a fraction of that time trying to get a real job and become gainfully employed, they could probably make a difference in the world instead of upsetting people's lives and exposing them to all sorts of nightmares. In an ideal world, that's what would happen. Unfortunately, as we all know, our world is not ideal. So, you have now been forewarned, and hopefully you will govern yourselves accordingly. Remember, y'all, just if it says USPS, oh, we got a package we tried to deliver, but nobody was home. We need some information to be sure we can get it to you. USPS does not operate in that fashion. And if, well, Clarence, the spelling was good, the grammar was good, they had the USPS logo on it, I just figured it had to be legit. Well, if that's the case and you think it can be, get that cell phone and call first to verify. It is literally the example of the ounce of prevention being worth more than the pound of cure. Now, if you're like Marty and you big money baller, you don't mind, if people suck a couple of hundred or 1,000 out of your account because they're fishing. Well, I ain't mad at you. I'm a little jealous, but I ain't mad at you. I'm not a big money baller. Okay? Let's establish that right up front. I work hard for my money, and I want to keep every single nickel of it. And I certainly, if I have to give it away, it's not going to be to a scammer. You have been forewarned. Govern yourselves accordingly. I've been attempting to keep an eye on this story, but as we got closer and closer to the start of the show, I was less and less able to do so. Approximately, what time are we looking at right now, Marty? It is going on 10:30, right at 2 hours ago. The LSU Board of Supervisors was set to announce the decision on the next president/chancellor of the Baton Rouge campus. Kelvin Drogemeyer, I hope I didn't butcher his name too bad, PhD, former director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy for the U.S. federal government, is one finalist. James, we all know him as Jim Henderson, System President and Chief Executive Officer for the University of Louisiana System, finalist number 2. And finally, William Tate, PhD, University of South Carolina's Education Foundation Distinguished Professor and Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. The meeting started at 8:30 this morning. I will attempt before leaving air today to ascertain if that decision has been announced to the public and or media and pass that information along to you and yours. Anyone still in the running at this point, and I know that you all will accept this in the spirit that it's given, anyone still in the running for consideration at this point has to be someone who really wants this job, or has to be someone that truly loves Louisiana State University and wants to do whatever it takes to get the school back on track. Otherwise, I can't see someone stepping into, I don't want to say the utter turmoil, although some might be tempted to categorize it that way, but the unsettled nature of things at Louisiana State University. And of course, just recently, those 4 young ladies with the LSU Health Sciences Department, former members of the med school, went public with their complaints about gender discrimination at the Shreveport campus. So the new guy, whomever it ends up being, is going to have a lot on his plate to deal with. That's a given. But the old adage is, to whom much is given, much is expected in return. And I, for one, am looking forward to a fresh start. I, for one, am looking for an individual that will take over the running of the institution, understanding full well that accountability is going to be the operative word of the day for God knows how long to come. It is something that we never should have allowed to get this far, but it is what it is. And as my late father taught me early in life, getting knocked down is not the measure of a man. Because the fact of the matter is, if you just keep on breathing, if you haven't experienced it yet, it's coming. If God blesses you to keep breathing, you will get knocked down in life sooner or later. The clock is ticking. It's just a matter of time. Now, when you get knocked down by life, as a late dear friend of mine used to call the vicissitudes of life, when that happens, that is not an indication of who you are. The indicator of who you are is what you do after you pick yourself up. It's no secret, whomever the new president is, he's going to have a lot on his plate. And the good news, I guess, for members of the Tiger Nation is that they already know this. There are no secrets at this point, and accountability is expected. So I, for one, am looking forward to getting this fresh start underway. And let's do everything that we can to make our state's flagship university be the place we all know it has the capability of being. Just saying. Bottom of the hour break. Need to get this done. We will get it out of the way, and when we come back, how many times have I told you this? It's not about saving the planet. It's about control. I hope you are ready to shift your taste buds. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it with this story, you might need to hurry up and come to Bayou Smokehouse and get you some real meat, because if some folks have their way, It might be a thing of the past. Just saying. That's up next as we continue the Clarence Bug Show here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. And we are coming to you live today from our regular location, Bayou Smokehouse at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. It is the home of old school barbecue. If you've not been by just yet, what is there to say? Maybe you enjoy leading a deprived life. Maybe you enjoy not getting the best bang for your buck. Maybe you enjoy mediocre. If that's the case, hey, in the vernacular of the streets, I ain't mad at you. But if you want true value, you want great food, you want to be around great people, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. Remember I told you guys and girls not so very long ago that you are going to hear all sorts of things in the coming months and years. And there's a common thread here. It's all wrapped around doing something for your benefit. Thank you, Marty. We got to save the planet. Or we got to save the children. Or it's for your benefit, the whole night. It's always some agenda behind it. And I told you guys and girls that if you pay attention, these things start to be revealed to you. There are some folks in this world who want to control every aspect of your life. What you can and cannot eat, what you can and cannot drink, what you can drive, what kind of light bulbs you can use, where you can live, what sort of refrigeration you can have, what sort of clothes you can wear, every single aspect of your life. And to sell this liberal crap to you, they tell you, oh, but it's for the benefit of saving the planet. Well, the European Union announced this week their 27 member states of the EU have now approved Tenebrio molitor beetle larvae, also known as mealworms. The EU's 27 member states have approved mealworms for human consumption, saying it is, quote, innovative food and it will help sustain the planet. Now, you can't make this stuff up. You notice how they find the right button to push? You know how they find that perfect button to push? Who wants to be against saving the planet? Oh my God, my grandchildren, they're gonna perish. Who wants to be against one segment of the population? Oh, well, you're racist, by God. How can you think that way? Who wants to be the person that's against enhancing the quality of life for our fellow Americans? Nobody wants to be that guy, okay? So, when they come up with these harebrained schemes, there's always a justification for it. Well, we got to save the planet. Now, this puppy's been here how long? Still turning, still doing what it does. Here's a classic example. Classic example. The whole climate change fiasco kicked into super high gear, overdrive, during the Obama years. If we don't act right now, sea levels are going to rise by 20 feet. So what's the first thing Barack did when he left the White House? Bought a $14 million mansion on the freaking beachfront. Who buys a house right in front of the ocean, knowing in 10 years the water level is going to come up 20 feet? Who does that? I can tell you who does that. Somebody who's either playing you or somebody that knows something you don't know. Or some combination of all the above. But in an effort to get you to buy into this stupidity, they know just which buttons to push. The latest, by the way, is now we have to fight climate change because it is endangering the maternal health of women in America. Women here have been having babies for how long? But now, all of a sudden, it's something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed right now. And have you noticed something else here as of late? When they cannot craft a way to push your button. Oh, we got to save the planet. Oh, it's for the children. Oh, it's for education. Whatever the button of the day happens to be. When they can't find that, have you noticed? What they'll do is change the definition of words to fit what they're trying to sell you. Has anybody other than me noticed recently that infrastructure, all of a sudden, now encompasses just about everything under the sun. Walk up today to 150 random Americans, folks that you don't know. All you know is that they're here legally. All you know is that on July 4th, they'll be cooking hot dogs and hamburgers and ribs and the like. Walk up to these people today, 150 random Americans, and ask them, in your mind, what's infrastructure? You know what you're going to hear? Roads, bridges, possibly schools, ports, waterways, things of that nature. It is only among the most progressive of liberals that you will hear child care. Now, since when did child care become infrastructure? Now listen, please, in the vernacular of the streets, don't get it twisted, okay? We're all in favor of American children starting the education process as early as possible. Because all you have to do is look at the rankings of educational attainment around the world. It used to be America led just about every freaking category. Now, we're way down the list. So none of us are against early childhood education, starting the education process for our young people as soon as possible. But for God's sake, y'all, we're not stupid. If that's what you want, respect me as a voter and as the person who has elected you to serve, not the person that appointed you to rule, and come to me and say, look, we got a problem with early childhood education. We need to fix this. This is what we think it's going to cost. But don't try to slide it in underneath the radar and call it infrastructure. Something that I know is a lie. Because what happens then is, if you will lie to me to my face about something that I know is a lie, if you will lie to me about that, what else are you lying to me about? You see where that goes? You know and I know. Child care ain't infrastructure. We both know this. But with a straight face, you're going to look me in my eye and tell me some wackadoodle justification as to why, yeah, it is infrastructure. Dude, if you were only talking to yourself, I wouldn't mind. Because then I would have the luxury of saying, that clown's an idiot. But when you're talking to me, looking me dead in my eye, knowing I know better, then I'm saying to myself, this idiot thinks I'm a fool. Now, Houston, we got a problem. At some point, hopefully much sooner than later, I keep hoping we as Americans will come back to our senses and embrace time-honored things that brought us to greatness, like good old-fashioned common sense. If you don't have it, you don't have it. There's something to be said about not knowing what you don't know. I don't have a problem with that. It's when you automatically assume I don't know. And you figure that gives you license to treat me like an idiot. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. Pure and simple. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I am hoping that he will take advantage of the opportunities on the internet and watch today's show. He will certainly, at least I think, understand full well that he should charge it to my head and not to my heart. A guy that has come by Bayou Smokehouse, and I think I figured this out now, Marty. The guy would come by over the course of the last week. He was here every freaking day. I'm like, dude loves the barbecue here. Well, what I didn't know at the time is the guy, Jonathan Moran, is active U.S. Army. And this week, he shipped out, deployed overseas. By the way, go Army, beat Navy. Can't ever talk about Army without saying that. Now I think it all makes sense. He was getting his grub on before he left and stuck with MREs and this kind of thing. He said, I'm going to make sure that for the next 10 months, I'm not going to Jones for barbecue. I'm going to Bayou Smokehouse every freaking day and load up on barbecue. But in all seriousness, Jonathan, hopefully you'll go to YouTube and keep up with the show. And know that we are pulling for you, we are praying for you, and we want nothing more than a successful mission and you returning home to us safe and sound. Nothing more. Guys, well, ladies too for that matter, I hope you have not forgotten. You know what this weekend, Sunday, is, right? That's right. There's now panic all across South Louisiana for all of you that forgot, oh my God, it's Mother's Day. I gotta run out. Clarence, you saved my life. Listen, I cannot stress this enough. If you are one of those individuals that is so fortunate as to still have your mother with you, hug her while you got her. Because believe it or not, a time will come if life goes along the natural order of things, a time will come when you will have to bury her. Listen, I know it's not pleasant to think about. I know it's not happy to think about. But in his infinite wisdom, that is how God designed his universe to work. Children are supposed to bury their parents. Parents are not supposed to bury their children. That goes against the natural order of things. So as you go through life and get older and older, the natural progression is such that it's just a matter of time before your parents are no longer with you. Having grown up in Baton Rouge, being a Baton Rouge boy, and yes, my dad was career Army, 28 years, and I was blessed because of his military service to be born overseas, to live on various bases around the country, to go back to Kaiserslautern, to K-Town, as it's affectionately called in elementary school. But in between all those deployments, to show you how special my mom was, never once when my father's orders came through and he had to ship out to God knows where, and my mother was left having to pack up 3 kids and a house full of stuff and move it halfway around the world, never once did my mother complain. She knew she married into a military household. She knew her husband had a commitment that he was going to honor in serving this country. And that was just a part of the package. I never thought, growing up in Baton Rouge, there's no way you could tell me that after 55, 60 years, I would be the only Bugs living in Baton Rouge. There's no way you could have made me believe that. And lo and behold, along comes that day. I understand it is part of growing up. There's that time where you're just enamored with your parents. Then there's that separation, you know, when you hit 17, 18, 16. Oh, them old people, they don't know nothing. My dad, my mom, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. We all did it. We all did it. If you didn't, count your blessings. But if you're fortunate enough to stick around a while, you start to realize the older you get, the more you realize how wise your parents actually were. It's hard for us to see growing up. It's hard to see growing up. But if the Lord blesses you to stick around long enough, you find out just how wise your parents truly were. And the fact of the matter is, guys and girls, at the end of the day, you don't get but one. She's all you got. Love her, hate her, somewhere in between, she's the only mother you will ever have. So you might as well do whatever you can, whatever it takes to make it work. You don't get but one shot at this, y'all. And at some point, the shot clock and the game clock runs out. Trust me, you don't want to be that person that when that happens, all you say to yourself is, wow, I wish I would have. Wow, I should have. Wow, could I have? You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. And the fact of the matter is, it's too easy not to. At the end of the day, come Sunday, if you are so fortunate as to still have your mother with you, I implore you, hug her while you got her. Hug her while you got her. Because in today's world, here today, gone this afternoon. That's just the nature of the beast. To all the moms out there, for all you have done for us over the years, especially the things that you didn't have to do. The sacrifices that you made, believing in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. Happy Mother's Day. Love you. That's going to do it for yours truly. The Exiles, Bill Profita, I believe will be flying solo, is up next. I would consider it a personal favor if you'd stick around for that. But in the meantime, I got to go. And as I say each and every day, right about this time of the day, this day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you next week. God bless.